everybody. What's happening? Happy Friday. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm sure you can see and hear me, I'm assuming. Ooh, there we go. Sorry about that. Let's see here. Hey, Lisa Clovey. Hey, Barb's Country Home. Hope you guys are doing well. Hey, Craig and Debbie. Hope you're doing well. Rhonda Redeem Prodigal. Hello, hello, hello. Um, what up, Nick Carlin? What up, Holman's Homestead? Gwen Broke Cowgirl. Hello, hello. Hope you guys are doing great, doing amazing. Um, we are doing good. It's going to, let me just tell this computer to do my updates tonight. There we go. What's happening with everybody? Figured we'd do a quick catch up live and maybe a half hour tonight just because I gotta put some tomatoes up and stuff, and everything takes longer when you don't have water. It's such a pain. Or when you have to use the bottled water, right? If I had to do off grid, I could totally do it, but I'm not good at that stuff. Um, what's going on with you guys? Hey, Spartman, welcome in. We noticed, but that's all good. Hey, Ariel, Viking Venture and Victuals, welcome, welcome. Yeah, so we're on a week without water, but we're doing good. We're doing good. The solar shower has been a godsend. So that's awesome. Oh, you're chilling, Nick? Good. Good deal. Yeah, it's been a godsend. I mean, if you guys ever needed one of them for an emergency or for camping or for anything like that, highly recommend. Really impressed with it. I mean, is it your home shower? No, not at all. But let me tell you, the fact that you can shower and you're like you feel human, that's amazing. Tonight I was all covered. I had like pants that went down right below my knees, a little shorter than capris, and the pigs all rub up against me, and I'm always covered in mud and feed and all that stuff. So, but we're fine. It's not bad. It's not winter. It's not, you know, that stuff. So we can deal with it. But thank you, Holman's Homestead. We appreciate it. Um, we just hope that when they drill the new one, when they get here, that they hit a fabulous aquifer. And I'm convinced this is going to be a really good blessing for us. I am. I really feel that way. Over the last few days over here, we've gotten just shy of 1.5 inches of rain. Oh, Spart man, I'm so jealous. We got a half an inch, and that was huge. And I really would like a couple more inches of rain because we need it. Hey, Sarah, Rise and Swine Farm. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, we're doing good, doing good, and everything's been going fine. I mean, I think, we're used to hauling water anyway, so we can totally take that. Craig says we're hoping for water at 150 here. Well, I'll tell you a funny story, Craig. We went and got a load of water at the same place you and I go, and the first two times I showered at the back of the truck, by the water tank. It's like showering with a fire hose, and that water was freezing. But I was thankful that we could shower. So I'm glad that the solar shower came because we fill it up in the morning, let it sit out in the sun. So yeah, Gwen, the yeah, very cold, Craig. Gwen, the water that we get is potable and it is drinkable. However, our tanks we don't feel comfortable drinking out of because we clean them out to keep the algae out, but I don't feel that we sterilize them. The animals do just fine. But I don't know, I just worry about any residue in the tank that could affect a human more. So we get like a 5-gallon jug of water from the store because the individual gallons were really expensive. Let me just go back to the chat. I missed some people. Nick said it's been raining. Soggy. Oh, sorry. Hey Tony, our cabin in the woods. Yep, drill baby drill. Sparkman said saw a farmer trying to bale some hay off his field just to get it off. The alfalfa under the windrow was turning yellow. Oh, that's awful. Hey Annie, hope you're doing well. Our urban homestead. Yeah, Ryan was saying we were showering with a fire hose. Yeah, we can fill up jugs. It has like a big hose on it. It's sort of like a fire hose. It's like a hose that comes down. Yeah. Okay, Craig said I think the water is good, but I don't think I'd drink it. Yeah, I always worry. My first thought is it goes to the tanks that we haul in. The tank that we haul in is not an issue. As bad as the other tanks. So what happens is every time we fill up, we go to the, let me start over. We go to the well place and pick up a load of water. And we usually get a lot. And then we go there and then we come home. And every time we transfer to the new tank, every time we add to that tank, we try to empty it and then scrub it out. We usually use vinegar for the animals to clean it up. That way, if there's any residual, it won't hurt them. So that's what we do, because in the summertime, when it gets to be 90 degrees, it does start to turn green on the walls, but not the water. So we watch the water to make sure the water runs clear. We know not to keep it too long if we're going to give it to the animals, but we can use it for pools, not drinking water. And then again, it's just every time we scrub it out with a scrub brush on a handle and vinegar, white vinegar, and then we add more water to it. Definitely need to send that water to the Black Hills of South Dakota. Yeah, I know. There's a fire northeast of us, and I think it's at like the Bennett fire. I think it's like 330 acres. It's scary. It's sad too. So sad. Our well here was 220. Yep. We're used to those kind of deep wells when we drilled, like when we had them in Connecticut and North Carolina and upstate New York. Hey, Annette at the Cow Emporium. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, true, Tony. We could use a Berkey filter. That's right. I didn't think of that because I don't have one. Right now, I'm just in love with the solar shower. It's just been, today was shower day, so it was delightful. I feel like a human being. Yeah, helicopters taking off to fight the fires all day. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's just scary. It's sad. It just makes me so sad that, there's a lot of natural disasters that are absolutely scary and terrifying. But it's just scary having to, I don't know, the thought of having to either load everybody up and get out of here or just open gates just freaks me out. I don't like it. I don't like it. But yeah, Berkey is a good idea. Thank you, Tony. Yeah, they do, Lisa. They do. They definitely wipe out everything in their wake, like tornadoes, Sometimes I think, well, tornado, and trust me, I'm not saying one's better than the other. They're horrible. But if you have a storm shelter, but you'll still lose everything. It's terrible. Terrible. I was reading TSC Livestock News. I read about them and they talk about the ranchers and what the ranchers are doing to protect their land from fires and stuff. It's sad. It's sad. Yeah, I know you do, Annette. It's really scary. You guys, they've been going on for a long time. Are they still going on from last year? Or are some of these new? I know that you had that town that was near, no, there was a town where I know there was a fallen firefighter. I can't remember the name, but that just so sad. So sad. And California and all that. And I saw people on Facebook in Oregon, they had to leave. They had to move their animals and leave for evacuation orders. And then they whatchamacallit, then they were able to come back, thankfully, and everything was okay, but really scary. All new fires this year. But they've been going on for a while. They've been going on for a while, even though they're new, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Jasper. Yes, the town is called Jasper. That's it. I remember now. One of their national parks. Oh, so sad. Berkey water filter system's a great backup for all water, even from ponds. Good to know. Good to know. I wonder if they ship here because I know there was a problem with somebody. Was it Country Mama? Alicia Country Mama said she couldn't have it shipped to Iowa. I don't know why. That was bizarre, but that's what she said. I don't know. But yeah, I should get one of them. Do you have one, Tony? Curious. Ryan's had Giardia, so when he was a kid, and he not too thrilled on getting it. So we tend to be very careful. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I probably should invest in one of them. Um, the solar shower was nicer because it was like $40. So I know those Berkeys they're pricey, but effective. That's cool. That's cool. Um, so Piggly and Wiggly are leaving Sunday. Oh, I'm not ready for them to leave. Usually when the piglets are all weaned, I'm like, please leave, just because there's so many of them. But we only have two. Why do I want to keep them every time? I want to keep them every time. One of them looks like he's going to look just like his daddy, Grant. Oh, cutest little bugger ever. And so it's funny because these guys were a little smaller this year and they are particularly cute. Lisa, excuse me. Um, but yeah, I mean, they're just so cute and they weaned so well this week. They did great. Eleanor only charged the fence once, which is usually she does that a few times the first night. She only did it once and then she went to bed. And I thought, well, that was pretty good. Fiona had no babies and charged the fence. She's crazy. But they did really well. They cried a bunch. I gave them some feed and then they went to bed. So Annette, they have provided hours and hours of entertainment. And of course, we just let them run because they were too funny. Because they won't go far. They go right back to Mama. Mama called them and they came right back, but they would escape. All over the place. Usually have one or two. Or last year we had a litter get out one time, or Fiona got out with them because she busted the fence. But other than that, like to watch these guys get out of the pen area and into the electric fence was hilarious. They are just little jelly beans with legs running around. So cute. Because of the chance of a mega earthquake where Tanner is, we suggested he order special water purification tools. Giardia is no joke. No, not at it. I agree. It is not a joke. Ryan was a kid and I don't know, they were drinking creek water for whatever reason, and there was dares involved and everything, and the next thing you know, Ryan was really, really sick. So, safe straws are good temporarily. Yes. Yes, good idea. Yeah, they were really cute. Really, really cute. And the one that was smaller than the other one is now about the same size. Um, but they're just so funny. They're running around. What's really cool is when you wean them, before you wean them, you go over to the pen and they look to mama. Always look to mama for what to do, what the cues are, and all that stuff. And even though I start offer and feed at 2 weeks, then they get the hang of, well, when the food comes, they got to eat because mama will eat it. And so, when you start, they get pushed out of the way by mama. But when you get to the end and you're getting near weaning, they are pushing mama back. It is so funny here. And they're pushing mama, right? And then they all start screaming, when feed comes. It's just so funny. Well, now that they're in the wean pen, they know to look to us for feed. So they're right in front of the house because I wanted to keep an eye on them, and they're in that temporary wean pen. But that temporary wean pen has been very, very helpful. Glad that we didn't have to set up the one like we had last year because there's only two. But with only two, I'm not ready to part with them. Last year when we had 15 and they were screaming, I was ready for them to leave. Good deal, Tony. Smart to have that. I've got some filtered stuff that I won. I won some prepping stuff and I have it put away. I just didn't feel I needed it now. But I like the idea of the Berkey filter. I'm going to look into that. Nice, Ariel, and hope you're enjoying your walk. Nice to get out and walk now before summer comes and it's hot for you. Ariel is in Australia, in case you guys didn't know. But yeah, they'll be leaving Sunday. Hey, Backlash Fisherman, hope you're doing well. So they're leaving Sunday, so that'll be nice. Two less creatures that need water, so that'll be good. We've got the American breasts, 6 of them that we need to butcher, and we're going to wait until we get water to do that because I just don't feel comfortable doing it without having any kind of running water because I want it to be clean. So yeah, good to see you, Backlash. So that'll be good. But it's a shame because they're 16 and a half weeks, so they'll be 17 weeks. They'll be 17 weeks tomorrow. And really it's butchering time. So I really don't need to add to our chicken flock. We really want to butcher them and taste them. So see if we're going to start a flock of them. We ended up not feeding the breast birds the feed soaked in milk. I had powdered milk I was going to, add water to and then soak it. And the time that we would have started feeding that, we were still very hot, like in the upper 80s, 90s, and I didn't feel comfortable putting, I didn't feel comfortable putting feed soaked in a milk product outside in that heat and letting them eat it because I figured if they didn't eat it all, then would it go bad? I don't know. I'm a weirdo. We have 10 grandkids, 5 kids. We're trying to have what we might need. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. No turkeys, no problem. Apparently they come to you now. Yeah, they come every once in a while. The last time they were here was in the winter, I think about a year or two ago. They go to my neighbor's all the time because he has bird feeders out. And he likes seeing them. But 2 wild turkey hens and about 10 poults were walking around with my chickens today, and the chickens were like, what is going on? But yeah, they come here. It's crazy. They're just walking around, and my chickens are like, "What are you doing?" You know? Oh my gosh. So what do you guys have going on this weekend? I'm curious. I think there's a town-wide uh, yard sales. So I think we're going to hit some of them and see if we can get some good deals. We went to one today and this is the funniest thing. We talked about getting some more of those boot mats, those plastic mats you put your boots on. We had a great idea for them. I can't remember what it was. So I bought two at a yard sale because they were $1 for the two of them. Turkeys are hard to raise. I don't find them hard to raise. I think that the hardest part is if they get past that first 2 weeks, they're good. Usually the first 2 weeks, you could look at them and they're fine one day, dead the next. But usually, um, making sure they're eating and drinking is a huge part of it because they're not like chickens where they just pick it up. I've never had to teach a chicken to eat. They all eat right out of the egg, hatched and all. But yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, I've heard of people had them drown in buckets too. Crazy. So Backlash is going to go fishing. Exciting. Holman said, hopefully picking corn and freezing in the morning. Yes, that is awesome. I love it. I hope you are. Spartman says, I have a list of things I want / need to do. Whether I get to it or not is another thing. Yeah, I know that feeling. And you guys, do you remember my raspberry bushes? Do you remember the raspberry bushes that we planted 5 years ago? And every time I do a garden tour, I'm like, there's my raspberries, not doing anything. We have almost 2 quarts of raspberries in the freezer. This year was killer. We're still harvesting. I can't believe it. I think there's something to be said for us making that garden out in the front yard with all the containers and the hail netting because I looked at the raspberries and I was like, I'm not wasting hail netting on you. I'm not wasting time on you. And if you don't produce this year, I'm digging you up. All of a sudden, we got 2 quarts of raspberries. And I bought them fertilizer as a reward. We have a family reunion on my dad's side. There were 12 original kids, and now 4 boys are gone. I have to take potluck, and I love to cook, but I'm stuck. Beets, potatoes, meatballs. I say scalloped potatoes. I say scalloped potatoes or meatballs. Or meatballs. We made sweet and sour meatballs that were amazing. Beets are good too. I mean, because they're from your land, so beets would be amazing. Thank you. Yes, I'm excited, Lisa and Annette and Holman's. I am super excited about the raspberries. I can't believe it. So instead of freezing them on a tray, I just froze them in the bags because I know we're not going to use them whole. We're going to mash them up in something. So if we have enough, we want to make jam. So super stoked. So we'll see how that goes. Go full on funeral food, scalloped potatoes and ham sandwiches. Oh my gosh, that's funny. I always get a hard time if I don't make something from the farm. Oh, that makes sense. Well, your potatoes, if it needs to be completely from the farm, I would make meatballs or beets. If it's okay with other ingredients, definitely the scalloped potatoes, or like Gwen says, the potatoes au gratin. Between the chickens and my snacking, raspberries rarely make it to the house. I know. That is really hard, and I have been fighting to contain myself because I wanted to weigh them, because I'm weighing all of my harvests. And it was funny, I wrote in my book, I was like, "1 raspberry, I ate it." Um, but almost 2 quarts is huge because one we had 3 wait a minute, we started with 2 raspberries and 2 raspberry bushes that were native, and no, 3 raspberry bushes that were native, if I remember correctly, and we lost one to a vine borer. I didn't realize what it was the first time, and it came back again, and it happened again, and I talked to Daz and some other folks, and actually Sandy told me to look for it. Hey, Sandy, hope you're doing well, suburban homesteader. So then I dug out the raspberry bush, and then Sandy actually gave me a raspberry bush, which was thornless, which I really appreciate. And that one is doing well now. So we actually have one original one left, one from Sandy, and one fall golden. And then now they're sending out a lot more shoots this year, I've noticed. So we're going to try to make that area where they can get a little crazier. I've tried raspberry bushes here, but the rabbits keep eating them off during the winter. That is our problem too, Spartman. Let me tell you what we did. We fenced around them. Usually I fence them in the summer to keep the deer away from them. And maybe Sandy can speak to this, but maybe I'm wrong. But I'm just going to tell you what I think happened. Every year we fence them in the summer. Then we take the fence down because it's in the way. We got to plow snow, all that stuff. We just put a temporary fence to keep the deer out. Well, the minute we take the fence down after we harvest 1 or 2, which is how many raspberries we usually get, the deer eat the canes right down to the ground. This year, the deer did not eat the canes down to the ground. And this year, we got a killer harvest. So what do you think? Do you think that's why we got a better harvest? Because the deer didn't eat them to the ground? I'm curious. Let me go back up, see what I'm missing. Oh, nice, Annette. I'm glad it stopped raining. I'm glad you're getting rain. That's awesome. Hope it's not interfering with green feed cutting or anything. Yep, Sandy said yes. Good. Sandy is a master gardener, as you know. Spartman is too. He said as good of a reason as any. So yeah, so I'm excited. So most raspberries fruit on the second year canes. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. It's just fun because it's funny because we've never gotten a harvest. And so now that we've put that cattle panel around there, we've talked about actually leaving a permanent fence, so to speak, around. Thank you, Sandy. I'm going to hold off though because I don't know where I can put them because they're going to encroach on my driveway. It was probably a bad idea to plant them. I have to find other places to put them. Have a great weekend, Holman's Homestead. Thank you for being here. But that's good. I'm going to tell Ryan that. Spartman said, excuse me, I can grow weeds like nobody else. Me too. Me too. You know how we avoid weeding? We plant closer than the square foot gardening rule because they take over. You weed in the beginning and then you don't have to weed at all because no light is getting down, like with the cabbages and stuff. So it's pretty cool. Oh, I wanted to show Sandy. She probably saw it. Sandy, did you see my cabbage on Instagram? I was very proud of that. And I have a lot more coming. So I'm very excited. You guys are going to hear me screaming when I have a cabbage harvest. Oh, I'm going to show you, Sandy. Hang on, I got to take the audio. Let me see the virtual background off so I can show you. I am going to be screaming, and you're going to hear me all the way over in Wyoming. You're going to hear me up to Canada and Texas because I was so excited. I've never had luck with cabbage. Here it is, Sandy. 2 pounds, 2.9 ounces. I was so excited, and it was delicious and coleslaw. And I got a bunch more heads out there. And then I have some starts from an Amish gentleman that I bought, and they're getting small heads. So super excited. That was my first cabbage. It was awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I'm very excited. Cabbage looks like it's from a science fiction horror movie. I just love it. I was so proud. I had Ryan cut it. He's like, "You want to cut it?" And I'm like, "No, I want you to cut it." Ooh, sure. I would love some, Sandy. That'd be awesome. What can I I know what I can give you. Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to get the rest of them. So excited. How's everybody's tomatoes doing this year? I know some of you are like, I think Annette's not growing tomatoes, and I know Gwen is done with gardening till her fall garden. But I'm just curious, how are your tomatoes doing this year compared to last year? I think it was too hot here in the greenhouses. I'm getting them, they're just not turning red. As soon as they blush, though, I am picking them because I got a critter that is getting in one of them. Oh, awesome, Sandy. Awesome. Sounds cool. Yeah, lots of tomatoes, but still green. Same here. I mean, this is like so bizarre to me because, I mean, we picked our first tomato in June. They just are so slow to turn. Absolutely crazy. I miss my heirloom tomatoes. I bet you do. I bet you do. Maybe next year. Gwen said the cherry tomatoes still have tomatoes on them. I haven't looked at them though. I'm not picking them anymore. I wish I had that problem. I wish I could do that. One of the things I've been doing this year is harvesting things, and like if I see like the Swiss chard, I got frustrated with it and I pulled it because I'm not wasting my time watering something that kept getting bugs and everything like that. So I just pulled it. I was done. The one thing that made me laugh this week, though, I know I told Annette about this, but I couldn't find my calendula starts. Couldn't find my calendula starts. Finally found them. They're in the raised bed with the green beans. They got mislabeled somehow. I'm glad I have one plan. I'm glad I have one because I was really bummed. Sarah says, yeah, they had what do you call them? I can't remember what you call them, but it was causing blisters on the leaves, and I looked it up and they said, let me see. Leaf miners. When I looked it up online, they said leaf miners, and I sprayed them a few times, and every time I sprayed them, they'd start to look better, and then they'd start looking terrible again. And I'm not a huge fan of chard, and they weren't growing great, so I just let them go. But yeah, leaf miners is what we had on them. Let me just go back here. My tomatoes have been okay, but slow to ripen. The cherry tomatoes and Roma are still going strong. That's awesome. I didn't plant cherry, but I planted purple Cherokee, Roma, beefsteak, Brandywine, Early Girl, and a few others, San Marzano. I have to tell you, Not impressed with the San Marzano, not impressed with even the Early Girl. I finally just got one the other day, and I had Brandywine before then. Um, so yeah. But again, it's just not as good a year as last year was for us. Remember my garage full of green tomatoes for at least a month? There's lots of time. Yeah, very true. Very true. Tomatoes bad. I only got 64 pounds. I have a video coming out in the morning. It is a test for me, and we'll see what happens. Okay. Only 64 pounds? My goal is to get 64 pounds, and I don't think I'm going to make it this year. But I get it. I get it. The same plants at your house, Tony, would produce 2 or 3 times more than mine would. Hey, Jake, Nanya, hope you're doing well. Say hi to Ann too, please, and the girls. Yeah, San Marzano is they're very small. I don't know if it's from heat stress. They're very small. Um, so not impressed at all. I really like the Roma, which is the Martino's Roma from Baker Creek. So I'm going to order some of them. My purple Cherokee are not as prolific this year. The Brandywine are absolutely stunning. Which Sandy, you had told me those were good ones to grow. And I think you also liked a German variety. I wish I could grow 200 pounds of tomatoes. I'd need a few more greenhouses. That's awesome. Yeah, love Roma. Love them. Next year, I'm thinking of doing all determinate. I don't know. I may not even garden next year. I may take a summer off. German strawberry. That's it, Sandy. Thank you. Yeah, so we'll see. No, Holman's left. I think he has to go to work early in the morning, Saturdays, Gwen. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to think about it. I want to try some things that are different. But I think next year if we grow, um it's going to be for fun instead of putting all the pressure on myself to grow food. Um I don't know. I may do an experiment next year where I just buy cases from local farmers and can it because it's going to be a lot larger yield. So I'm going to see. They had some beautiful Roma type tomatoes in their video today. Awesome. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Um, we're trying to, I'm just hoping that we get the water back so we can do some canning. Um, so, I mean, I can do small ones in my electric one, but for me to get my large one going, I'm trying to freeze what I can to get to it, but we'll see how it goes. So for right now, we're just trying to get through. I'm hoping that the guy shows up with the drilling rig um, within the next week is our hope. So that way we don't miss out on canning season and getting stuff done. Because I want to buy, we didn't order any cases of produce, knowing that we didn't have water and the selection was a little different this time. So we said, we'll wait till next time because that's when it'll really start coming in. Right now, some of it is the hothouse stuff, but just hoping to get back to normal and do all that kind of thing. But we keep putting stuff up. Tons of squash, tons of yellow squash, zucchini, broccoli. We've got cauliflower coming, cabbage coming. The cauliflower, I don't know about size of the heads, but they're growing beautifully in the back overflow garden. But the plants are massive, massive compared to what they have been. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Just attach lots of hoses from Craig's house and use his water. LOL. Craig generously offered to take care of us if we needed a shower. So we are super grateful for that. But I'm so glad to have this solar shower we bought. Yeah. Yep. I don't blame you, Jake. I don't blame you. We had July was a lot hotter than normal. We haven't had rain. I mean, we've been feeding hay to our Kuni pigs since beginning of July, Jake. We are a dust bowl right now. Scary dry. We got a half an inch of rain the other day, which was an absolute blessing, but just not enough, sadly, because you know how it is, Jake, when you get really, really hot and dry, the ground gets so hard, and it just runs right off. It doesn't soak in, especially for us. I think Annette was saying we didn't have any puddles. And I said, yeah, no puddles because it runs right off and we're on an angle. The electric net fencing that we have that we usually rotate the pigs around, we can't even get them out of the ground or get them back in the ground. It was crazy. Yeah, Gwen, this summer is a lot better than what you had last year. Last year was crazy. Those triple digits. I'd be dead. Oh, absolutely crazy. You know it's dry if you ain't got no skeeters. Yeah, I know, Sandy, it's crazy. Yeah, we've done that. We've had to do that, Gwen. That's a great idea. What we have done is the water that we haul, we sometimes just throw some water where we're putting them and it helps get them back in the ground, but it's a challenge. Those stupid little posts, you think they'd be fine. But again, when we're not rotationally grazing right now, the boys are staying down there because it's cooler for them. And they've been doing really, really well. The good part is that was like not a new area for them. They've been there, but since we cut the trees down, they got to work up the land a bit more. So that'll be exciting for next year. It's all fertilized for next year. Yep. Goats even got in the sprinkler today and they hate being wet. Yeah, I always see people saying that. That's funny. We had to do that when we helped a friend of mine. I was saying last week that a friend of mine got 5 pigs that needed to be rehomed. She got a herd, males and females, because the lady had some health issues and she woke up one morning and had a litter. So I went over and we helped her and we brought some hog panel and all that stuff. And they had some T-posts and we got a separate area made up for her pigs. And it was so funny because they had to take a hose. We couldn't get the T-post in the darn ground. It was wild. My goats scream if they get a drop of water on them. That's funny. But they have no problem pooping in buckets, right? Oh my gosh. It's so funny. I have Eleanor. If I spray Eleanor, my one sow, she makes a noise like this. It's so funny. I go to spray her and she goes, the other ones all stand there. But Eleanor, every time, she makes it sound like it's so cold. And it's like the water's not even cold. All right, guys. Well, I went a little longer than I said I was going to go, but I'm going to get going. I got to get some tomatoes up in the freezer. It's funny, Sandy. She sounds like you're freezing her out and it's not room temperature, but it's cool water, not cold water. And she goes, you go to spray her ears with fly spray and she does the same thing. It's just so funny. But all right, guys. Well, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for coming. Thanks for catching up. And stay safe, stay well, and love to you guys. Take care. Yes, Sparkman, pigs are dramatic. All right, good night, everybody. Take care. Thanks for coming, and thanks, Lisa Clovey, for everything. Bye.